it amazes me to see not just a revolution from a technology point of view, but the ability that we have as humans to ensure that we don't leave people behind and make a world more inclusive. That's what AI can do. It's just a matter of people who are in power or aware of this, ensuring that we leverage the existing technology to make it happen.
All the way from Sao Paulo, Brazil, my good friend Ricardo Wagner from Microsoft. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, Jasper. Thank you so much for inviting me for this chat, and I can't wait to start talking to you.
Awesome. I always hear you say life is good, and you always have a big smile on your face. So I can't wait to feed off of your energy right now. Now, Ricardo, for those of you that don't know you, you've been with Microsoft for just a little bit of time. It's just a couple of decades almost. But you are the director for usage of Copilot for Microsoft 365 for the Americas. Copilot is everywhere, it seems. It's a big deal for Microsoft. So out of all the things and all the regions that you're working on, can you just kind of narrow it down for us? Like, hey, what is really your focus right now in your role with this new technology?
Yes, absolutely. You mentioned, like, I've been working for Microsoft for 18 years now. So I just saw the picture of my badge compared to what I am today. Yeah, luckily AI can help to show the difference. But what I'm doing right now, it's helping customers to realize value quickly. So once they start enabling and deploy Copilot, how can we quickly turn into scenarios that they see the impact of Copilot and how Copilot can help them to perform tasks faster or find a different and new way of working. What we are living right now, Jasper, is just, I would say, incredible. It's such a privilege to be part of this industry and see firsthand what's going on. Every time we address complexity and urgency, so thinking of complexity and urgency, we have a solution that can help human beings to tackle complexity and urgency. We end up bringing productivity. So it is just nice to see how organizations are evolving in all different industries and verticals across Americas. And the value proposition that generative AI through Copilot is bringing is different from a healthcare organization to an insurance institution to public sector. It is just incredible to watch a revolution happening all at once across all different countries and industries at the same time.
Yeah. Now, there's a detail what you said, but I really thought it was really interesting because you say what we're really doing is helping humans deal with complexity and do it right. And I'm going to use it as a bit of a segue to address this let's call it a broader fear that a lot of people have, where it's like, oh, AI is here to replace me. And the more I talk to people that are like yourselves, really in the trenches, it's like, we're not trying to replace people with AI. We're trying to give people the tools to overcome complexities in different ways, in faster ways. But it's still people that are making a difference with the help of AI. Is that a fair kind of like recapture?
Absolutely. It's not AI taking over jobs, but people who knows how to use AI taking over jobs from people who are not experiencing or leveraging AI. And I just love Copilot as a brand, as a name. So just giving an analogy for all people watching this conversation. Average Excel, Word, PowerPoint, Outlook, Teams user use 10 to 12% of all what the app can offer. Imagine, in analogy, a pilot in a cockpit knowing how to operate 10 to 15% of the commands inside the cockpit. Now this pilot has a co-pilot, and with the prompts and commands you give, the Copilot can help you to address the other 85 to 90% of all the commands.
Mhm.
That's pretty much the same thing happening with Excel, PowerPoint, and all the Microsoft apps. You don't need to be an expert in Excel, but if you are analytical, generative AI and Copilot can unlock Excel to help you perform tasks in your job faster.
Yeah,
Same for Word, same for PowerPoint. So just thinking, maybe people may think of AI taking over or what is going to happen. I just think of someone who is not yet familiar with apps like Excel, PowerPoint. You don't need to spend time learning and getting certifications for specific apps on how to use to be analytical. All you need is to bring your expertise and competence as an analytical person and professional, and let generative AI to work alongside you to perform tasks and be productive in the workplace. So
yeah.
you are leveling the play field. So you know how passionate I am with accessibility and
Yes.
ensuring that everybody is included in this dialogue. So I just see this new technology as an amazing trend, including more people in the workforce.
Yeah. So I love that you say that, and let's jump into this angle that you yourself bring up with accessibility, because I know you personally. We worked together a long time ago, and already back then, and then eventually you created that as an actual career path for yourself at Microsoft, where you were so passionate about accessibility technology, which for people that are watching this that are new to the concept, it basically means some people have to overcome life with limitations or issues, sometimes because of the way they were born, sometimes because of an accident, what have you. And unfortunately, not everything we build in this world is built with everybody in mind. And the idea of accessibility in technology means let's build technology to make sure everybody can use it, or make sure that people help people overcome limitations, because there will be a spillover effect to everybody. How are you seeing generative AI and Copilot fueling use cases for accessibility technology? Because I can only imagine you're seeing a lot of that.
I had a meeting with a friend of mine working for Microsoft Brazil. He's a person with sight loss. He lost his sight when he was 5 years old. And he told me after the meeting that he was just amazed with meetings recap. So by the end of a meeting, when you use Teams, you receive a summary of what was discussed, next steps, and you can also interact with Copilot to get additional information in case you miss something. So he mentioned, in my 17 years of professional life, I've never ever had a better tool or way to get back to meetings and taking notes and be productive as everyone else. This is huge. Or another friend of mine, he was born with cerebral palsy. In level 3 and 4, there are different levels of cerebral palsy. In his case, he has mobility impairment with his hands. So using keyboard for him is challenging. He can still perform and use a keyboard, but it takes time for him. And he's a developer, so he goes to GitHub, and all the coding piece take him more time than someone without disabilities to write a code. But now with Copilot for GitHub, it just gives specific insights of what he wants from a prompt and a code, and then generative AI can build it up for him, especially the operational thing, and he can be focused on things that really matters and spend more time coding things that he contributes to the technology, right? So just imagine, like, if this is helping everybody from an extreme point of view, this is bringing a value that is leveling the play field.
Yeah.
And Gen AI is just one cognitive services on top of many more cognitive services already available. And you know this, you've been also helping promote this type of technology. Like cognitive services for vision, for hearing, neurodiversity. Like the combination of all these services can help large organizations, everyone, to adapt environments and tools and connect with human beings. It's such an incredible moment. And I feel we are in a situation that if you are excluding people, you are either doing this without awareness of what is available and what you can do. And if you still knowing that all this technology available and you are not yet implementing or leveraging, you are just excluding a potential market, 1 in 5 people in the world. So I just, it amazes me to see not just a revolution from a technology point of view, but the ability that we have as humans to ensure that we don't leave people behind and make a world more inclusive. That's what AI can do. It's just a matter of people who are in power or aware of this, ensuring that we leverage the existing technology to make it happen.
Yeah. No, I love it. I mean, you just hear so often people say in many situations, like, let's take care of the majority of people. Let's take care of as many people as we can. But what you have seen and what I've seen through your work is if you focus on the people that have the most limitations, it is going to naturally spill over for everyone, which is really, really exciting. Now, I ask often people at the end of a conversation, like, hey, what excites you? But in your case, that's just a ridiculous question, because everything always excites you, it seems. So I'm going to ask you a different question, because there's so many people there's already a ton of people working on AI, whether it's a Microsoft AI or not, but let's focus on Copilot. People that, you see Copilot, and people like you and I have been dealing with this for a while, and we've worked with it. People watching this that feel maybe a little overwhelmed. If you are interested in trying to have a better understanding and more experience, but you don't really know where to get started, if you're really at that start of that journey, from your perspective, can you maybe just share, like, hey, as a best practice, this is where I would start? Like, how would somebody watching this video, as a next step for them, how would they build, or how would they start their journey?
So, Jasper, we are in the era of prompts, of commands. So, in order for us to get the best out of generative AI, learning how to create powerful prompts will help you to get a great outcome, to get a great result. So, it's interesting that we are seeing when people are interacting with Copilot or other generative AI prompts, that if you don't provide the right expectation, giving the source of information you're looking for, combined with rich details of what you're envisioning to your answer, likely you're not going to get a good response. So the very first tip that I suggest for everyone interacting is the learning, like how to do great, powerful prompts. So by making great prompts, you're likely to get the value. The other thing is unlock creativity and unlock curiosity. Just a quick example, I was with my little one having lunch, and suddenly he asked, Dad, can you explain atomic bomb for me? I was expecting this in lunch. And of course, with my limitation and the things that I learned, I try to explain. And every time you answer something, people come with another question. And that's exactly what happened with him. Until I got to a point to say, give me a minute. And I started to ask Copilot to give me good examples to an 8-year-old child. We ended up coming back home, watching Netflix, Hiroshima, Nagasaki. And from a simple conversation, we talked about history and physics, many things that he's now curious, and all the time asking for additional things like, is the bomb explodes when it hits the floor close down? He now, I can consider him an expert for his age, but curiosity coming with combined with great prompt, and the two helping us to unlock a great conversation can be an example in education and in many more scenarios. But with all of this, Jasper, I want to ask you, did you get what we just discussed today?
I got it.